Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Full-time MMA?
MMA.
Nothing else?
My life, man, yeah.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, because you know what time it is. It's full-time
MMA.
And two-time Olympic gold medalist Kayla Harrison has been motivated by Ronda Rousey in her quest to become an Olympic gold medalist, and now she's transitioning to MMA and will be making her MMA debut tomorrow at PFL 2. I'll be doing a live fight companion for that because I can't wait. Kayla Harrison, I think, has a bright future in MMA as she's now training an American Top Team and being motivated by Amanda Nunes and Jedrzejczyk, two of the greatest champions in WMMA UFC history. Now, with that being said, if you don't know about Kayla Harrison, now is the time to hop on the bandwagon, unless you want to wait, for another year or so, because I believe in 2020, if you were watching Full-Time MMA in the evening earlier, we talked about this. Kayla Harrison is on a path to be possibly an eventual legitimate challenge for Chris Cyborg, possibly to even dethrone Chris Cyborg in the future. I'm talking about like 2020, not tomorrow. Clearly, if Kayla Harrison and Chris Cyborg fought tomorrow, Chris Cyborg would probably do bad things to Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison's just now transitioning into MMA, but don't get it fucked up. She's not some rookie. She trained for a year before making her pro debut, hard sparring and all, in order to be prepared for her MMA debut. And she's coming from a judo background like Ronda Rousey, who was, until she lost her belt, one of the greatest to do it. She was submitting chicks in the first round with those judo skills. And Kayla Harrison's also going to have those skills, but possibly even to a new level. Ronda Rousey wasn't able to capture the gold medal in her Olympic tenure. I believe it was actually bronze. But Kayla Harrison captured 2 gold medals. And on top of that, as far as a future Chris Cyborg fight is concerned, which Kayla Harrison has talked about, she said, if I'm getting into MMA, I want to be the best. I know everyone's going to want to see me fight Chris Cyborg, and I'm going to do everything I can to get that opportunity and prove I'm going to be the best at what I do there. So Kayla Harrison's talked about that future potential Chris Cyborg fight, and she's also going to be, as far as size is concerned, more of Chris Cyborg's size than than Ronda Rousey or anybody really that Chris Cyborg has fought in the UFC. We see Ronda Rousey has had a hard time finding legit featherweights, or the UFC hasn't had the division in the past, and a lot of girls don't want to fight Chris Cyborg. She is one of the most feared fighters, and the only way to get fighters to fight Chris Cyborg is to, incentivize them somehow. Whether, a lot of fighters talk about, like Holly Holm, if I'm going to fight Cyborg, I might need paid a little more. You know what I'm saying? Going up a weight class, fighting Cyborg, I mean, that's a high risk you're going to lose that fight. You know what I'm saying? For anybody. So a lot of the times the UFC pulls girls up from like Invicta, like Yana Kunitskaya, or just Tanya Evinger, fighter Invicta bantamweight champions come up from Invicta to fight Cyborg, but they're not really legit featherweights, 145-pound fighters like Chris Cyborg, who couldn't make bantamweight unless she chopped off a limb. But Kayla Harrison, I believe she may be making her MMA debut at lightweight. She's and if that's not what it was, maybe she did judo at lightweight. But I think she's making her MMA debut at lightweight though. But I think she can make the 145-pound weight limit potentially, with nutritionists and all of that stuff like that. But as far as size is concerned, she's got that covered. She's not going to be a chick that's undersized if she ever were to potentially fight Chris Cyborg. Now, of course, all of that is just future, and that's why I'm already on this train, because I think she's got the skills, she's got the size to do good things. But right now the UFC doesn't have a featherweight division, so she's fighting in the PFL, making her debut tomorrow. And as far as her inspiration is concerned, whenever she was in judo, she said she was inspired by Ronda Rousey. She said, Ronda's always going to be, I think, that little rabbit in front of me. When I was 16 and I moved to Coach Jimmy Pedro's, she was the superstar. She was the golden girl. She was the one everyone was watching. Every day I said to myself, I'm going to be her someday. I'm going to be better than her. Anything she can do, I can do better. And it helped take me to the highest levels of my sport. She was able to not only become to medal like Ronda Rousey, but she was able to surpass her as she set out to do. She earned 2 gold medals. Not just did she earn a gold, but she earned 2 of them. Now she's coming to MMA, and like Ronda Rousey, she's using some of that same form of inspiration. She says, I train an American top team, and in some sense, Amanda Nunes is that for me. Jedrzejczyk is that for me. I see these girls, and I see how successful they are, and I want to be them. I want to be the superstar. I want to be counted amongst the greats like them. So Kayla Harrison has her mindset on greatness. She's got the skills coming over to MMA that has had a proven success as far as Ronda Rousey is concerned. I mean, everyone saw how big she was able to be as a star when she was getting those first round finishes and just tearing through the bantamweight division. And so Kayla Harrison's got the potential to do that, possibly to an even higher level, and she makes her MMA debut tomorrow at PFL. So I know there's probably none of them. I'd be surprised if there was anybody listening to this right now that watched Ronda Rousey's MMA debut. You've got the opportunity to potentially be watching history tomorrow if Kayla Harrison goes on to be successful in MMA, eventually sign with the UFC, and actually beat Cyborg. You can be one of the people who say you watched her MMA debut if you watch PFL 2 tomorrow. So with that being said, I'll be doing a live fight companion and watching it, so make sure you check out the channel and make sure you subscribe if you're new. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And before we go, shout out to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you want to become a full-time MMA blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, or black belt, all you have to do is go to patreon.com/fulltimemma. I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.